Bonjour! Welcome to another episode of Cuisine de Michel. I am Michelle. So today I'm going to be trying a recipe that I have not tried before. This is from kingarthurbaking.com. This is going to be a self-rising flour chocolate cake. So to get us started, we want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to grease and flour. I had to use some aluminum pans because I didn't have any of this size, but 3 8-inch round cake pans. And then over here in the mixer, I've already put in 6 tablespoons of salted butter. To that, I'm going to be adding 6 tablespoons of canola oil. Along with that, I'm going to be putting in 2 cups, which I actually measured by weight. This is 397 grams of granulated sugar. And then this is 3/4 cup, which I also measured by weight of, this is 63 grams of Dutch processed cocoa powder. Oop, missed a little bit of my cocoa powder there. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're going to blend these all together until they form a smooth paste. Next, we're going to be putting in a total of 4 large eggs, but you're going to beat them in one at a time. Okay, so next thing we're going to be doing is and I forgot to mention one thing about the eggs. The eggs need to be at room temperature. So I'm sorry I forgot to put that. I will put it on the description of the eggs. All right, so here in the mixing bowl, we are going to be adding our last ingredients, which is going to be 1.5 cups of water, just water at room temperature. And this is self-rising flour that I have measured by weight, and it is 312 grams, but you can use 2 3/4 cup if you don't have the measurement by that. We're going to be alternating. We're going to add in a little bit of flour to start with. And self-rising flour is very, very powdery, so that's why we get all that coming up off of there. But anyway, we're going to be adding them in alternation. So I'm going to put in some flour, mix that in, and then I'm going to put in some of my water. And the idea is to try to end with the flour. So you can see that we've got this all mixed and very smooth here. And I scraped off the edges. There was a bit of flour hanging around, so I tried to kind of mix that in. So we're going to try to divide this as evenly as possible into our 3 pans here. And then I'm going to try to see if they're a bit even. I'll even them out if needed after I kind of spread them out just a little bit. You don't have to get them spread perfectly because the batter will spread out once it gets into the oven. If you want to remove the air bubbles, you could gently tap the pan on your counter to let some of those air bubbles out if you feel like it. And once you have that and you put them in the oven, you're going to be baking these for 30 to 35 minutes. Use the usual test to insert a fork or toothpick to see if it comes out clean, and you'll know that they are done and ready. Okay, so I have already completed the cake part. It is cooling right now. It actually has cooled already. So I'm going to go ahead and make this frosting. This is the super simple chocolate frosting recipe that is on the same site, the kingarthurbaking.com. So here in the pan, I've got 1 cup of heavy cream that I've measured out. We're going to be bringing that to a simmer. It says you could also do it in the microwave. I'm just going to do it on my burner because it's just as easy to me. Meanwhile, we also want to have measured out in a bowl 1.5 cups, which is 149 grams, or sorry, 1 3/4 cup, excuse me, 1 3/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. I use Dutch process. It says you can use Dutch process or natural. This is 149 grams. And to that, I'm going to be adding, this is the 1.5 cups, which is 170 grams of confectioner sugar. And I've already gotten my sifter all dirty and stuff, so I'm going to use this instead of my sifter. Either one works. Does not matter. Okay, so we have brought this up to a simmer. I just want to barely get it to that simmer. And then we're going to be pouring this in to the cocoa and powdered sugar mixture. We're going to whisk this together, and it says at first it's going to look grainy, but we're going to continue whisking for a minute, and it says as we whisk, we're going to see those lumps that are in there start disappearing. Now we are to leave this until it comes to room temperature. So this bowl will retain the heat a lot more. So I'm going to pour it into my plastic bowl so it will not retain the heat. And then we'll see you after it gets to room temperature. Okay, so now the next step, I have let this cool to room temperature. Here in the mixing bowl, we have 2 sticks of unsalted butter, so that is a cup essentially. And into this bowl, I have sifted 2 cups of powdered sugar, so by weight, that's 227 grams. So we're putting that in here, along with some static electricity. It's kind of going everywhere, but that's okay. We are also going to be adding 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so now we're going to beat this all together. To that, we will now add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. For the next part, it says that we're going to be leaving the mixer on low speed, and we're going to be adding in, it just says a spoonful. It doesn't say what size that spoon should be, so I just grabbed one of my soup spoons here. So we're going to put this on low speed. Kind of spooning that in there. It's kind of hard to do. Doesn't really want to come off of the spoon very well, but we're gonna try. You see, it's got a nice fluffy texture, and I've done a little bit of leveling here. I mean, it's not super level, but I tried to make it a little more level for my cake to get it so I can frost this. I'm just going to do a very simple frosting job because it really is just us here to eat this, so it's not like I'm taking this to a competition or something. All right, so you can see we are here at final plating, and I think it looks wonderful, absolutely fabulous, and it smells fantastic. I am very excited to cut into this and see how we are. All right, now let's see if I can get this out of here. Okay, I almost got it without making too much of a mess there. All right, so you can see we've got our layers there. Looks really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. See how this is. Oh yeah. Oh, that is a wonderful chocolate cake. Oh my goodness. So moist. Just absolutely wonderful. And the chocolate frosting is really great too. It's not, a lot of times when I've had buttercream frostings like that, they tend to be a little bit too heavy. This one is just nice. It's fluffy and light, and I highly recommend that if you like chocolate cake, that you give this a try. It's very easy, as you saw. And then again, I hope that you'll join me for another episode of Cuisine de Michel. Thank you for joining me for this one. And if you liked it, give it a like and share it with your friends. Leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think about this. And definitely subscribe as well. We'll see you next time. Au revoir.